What if you could turn your doodles into real video games? A world of your own that you could actually play inside. Google's new AI called Genie is about to make that crazy idea a reality. Imagine taking a photo of your neighborhood and blasting aliens right on your street. Or maybe you sketch out a crazy castle and suddenly you're the hero storming the gates. Genie doesn't just change the game, it rewrites the whole rule book. Seriously, the future of creating virtual worlds is about to get a whole lot more fun and a lot less complicated. The buzz around Genie is huge, and for good reason. We're talking about breaking down the wall between our imaginations and what we can actually create and experience in the digital world. No more crazy coding skills or fancy software needed. Genie could put the power to create awesome interactive worlds in anyone's hands. And that's what makes this so revolutionary. Imagine the wild stuff people are gonna unleash with this. Genie's got this magic brain that's been trained on tons of footage. Platformers, robot battles, the works. It's learned how games move, so it can take your sketches or photos and make them playable. The really mind-bending part is that you don't have to tell Genie anything about how to make your world work. It figures out what you can control and how to make things move, all on its own. So yeah, those napkin doodles from lunch could be an epic platformer. Genie won't just make it playable. It'll figure out where to put jump buttons, enemies, maybe even a hidden coin or two. So that random cityscape photo you took, get ready to parkour across the rooftops. The possibilities are basically limited to whatever you can think of. But also imagine what this means for artists and educators. Think about bringing history lessons to life. Imagine students exploring a photo-realistic ancient Rome, history lessons you can take a walk around, or creators building entire interactive stories from a single sketch. And for artists, imagine your paintings and sculptures becoming worlds your audience can get inside and explore. It's crazy, but Genie is not just a fancy dev paintbrush. It's a doorway into the future of AI itself. Every world it creates is a training ground for the next generation of super smart AI that can adapt to anything we throw at them. This AI is learning how to build worlds on the fly, which is huge for the whole AI research field. Think about robots or self-driving vehicles adapting to whatever crazy stuff the real world throws up. The potential here is mind-blowing. Imagine an AI that isn't just smart but learns to interact with the world like we do. Google's Genie project could be a major step towards that kind of truly groundbreaking AI. But with great power, well, you know how it goes. Can we trust this tech? What if it creates things we don't want? Is this the day Skynet becomes real? The potential for misuse is real. Genie democratizes the creation of complex interactive worlds. And that's awesome for game developers, indie artists, and educators. But what about those with malicious intent? Could someone use this to generate harmful simulations to train extremists with devastating consequences? Could it automate the creation of realistic deep fakes, making disinformation even more rampant? Could it fuel the generation of harmful or disturbing content that's difficult to identify and control? Like any AI, Genie inherits the biases present in its training data. If this data reflects the world's inequalities, could AI-generated games reproduce problematic tropes or stereotypes? It's crucial to ask how we can ensure that Genie creates worlds that are as inclusive and fair as we desire the real world to be. And if an AI can generate game levels, stories, or even art, what does that say about the uniquely human element of creativity? Are we approaching a future where our own creative input becomes less essential? Furthermore, as Genie produces increasingly high-fidelity, immersive experiences, the line between the digital and the real could become blurry. Could this contribute to an escapism problem, with people finding virtual worlds more appealing than the real one? What are the long-term psychological impacts of hyper-realistic, personalized simulations? We just don't know yet. And it's fair to say that Genie is still a work in progress. It's got limitations, choppy visuals, but that's normal for bleeding-edge tech. But here's the thing. When you pair that kind of power with human creativity, the possibilities explode. Revamped education, game design that changes the whole industry. The potential is as massive as the virtual worlds Genie could one day build. This isn't just a fancy toy. It's a sneak peek into the future of how we'll interact with computers. Genie wants to smash the line between imagination and reality. And here's the trippy part. Genie didn't learn this by following instructions. It got smart by binge watching tons of videos. Mostly those old school platformer games. But instead of just watching for the fun of it, Genie was analyzing everything. How characters move, how things react when you jump on them, the whole cause and effect deal that makes games feel real. Building playable worlds on the fly. That means you don't have to explain basic game rules to Genie. It already gets how gravity and jumping and bad guys work. You just give it the sketch and it fills in the blanks, figuring out what you can control and what the goals might be. That's a massive leap, not just for games, but for AI in general. This is AI figuring things out for itself, which could lead to all kinds of insane new tools way beyond games. What Genie creates today is impressive. What it could create tomorrow? Mind blown. Imagine games that adapt to you, history lessons you can actually be a part of, or a story that changes based on your choices. This isn't just about better pixels, it's about unlocking a whole new world of creativity. Hold on to your hats, folks. The genie's out of the bottle, and your wish is its every command.